Cinematic montage. Slow motion shots of everyday struggles. A hand trembling while pouring tea. A moment of hesitation at the top of a staircase, a grocery bag feeling impossibly heavy. The footage is dignified but stark, set to a low, suspenseful musical score that pulses like a heartbeat. It cuts to a direct, intimate shot of the host, a knowledgeable and compassionate figure in their 60s. Sitting in a warm, well-lit study filled with books. Let me ask you a deeply personal question. And I want you to answer it honestly, not to me, but to yourself. When was the last time you felt strong? Not just okay, not just getting by, but truly fundamentally strong in your own body. The kind of strength that lets you rise from a chair without a thought, that carries you confidently up a flight of stairs, that lets you lift your grandchild or your suitcase without a second of fear or a twinge of pain. For many of us past 60, that feeling becomes a memory, and we write it off. We call it aging. We sigh and say, well, what can you expect? But what if I told you that this loss isn't inevitable? What if I told you that a silent, biological theft is happening inside you right now, accelerated by a common misunderstanding that 80% of seniors are getting dead wrong? This isn't just about feeling weaker. This is about the single greatest predictor of your future independence, your risk of hospitalization, and even your longevity. This is about sarcopenia, and today we are declaring war on it. Visual, clean, data-driven animations. A transparent human figure appears, with muscle groups highlighted. As the host speaks, sections of the musculature begin to fade and shrink, visualized with alarming clarity. Graphs and study citations appear briefly but prominently. Sarcopenia. It's a clinical term for what feels like betrayal. The progressive and degenerative loss of skeletal muscle mass, quality, and strength. From the age of 30, we begin to lose muscle, slowly. But after 60, the decline shifts into a dangerous gear. Studies like those published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society show that beyond age 70, you can lose 3 to 8% of your muscle mass per decade. That percentage sounds abstract, so let's make it visceral. Imagine over 10 years, losing the equivalent of the muscle required to walk steadily, to carry a full laundry basket, to catch yourself from a stumble. This loss is insidious. It doesn't announce itself with pain like a broken bone. It whispers. It's the extra step you need to haul yourself up. It's the jar lid that becomes an adversary. It's the slow, creeping fear of falling that begins to shrink your world. But the true danger isn't just in the muscle fiber itself. It's in the metabolic hurricane this loss triggers. Muscle is your body's largest reservoir for glucose. It's your primary engine for burning calories. It's your metabolic sink. As it diminishes, your insulin resistance increases, skyrocketing your risk for type 2 diabetes. Your resting metabolic rate plummets, making weight management a nightmare of calorie restriction that only feeds the muscle loss further, a vicious cycle. Your body composition silently shifts from a calorie-burning furnace to a fat-storing warehouse. This is why sarcopenia is the hidden root of so many age-related diseases. It is the keystone. And if it crumbles, the entire arch of your health collapses. The host stands in a modern kitchen. On the counter are classic senior health foods: a skinless chicken breast, a hard-boiled egg, a glass of milk. The host gestures to them with a mix of respect and frustration. Now, you may have heard the advice: eat more protein to protect your muscles, and you've tried. You have your chicken breast at dinner. You eat your eggs. You might even have a protein shake. But you look in the mirror, you test your strength, and the decline continues. Why? Because the standard advice is not just incomplete for the aging body, it's often useless. This is the catastrophic error. The myth is this: that total daily protein is all that matters. It's a numbers game. Get 60 grams a day. So you tally it up, hit your number, and think you're safe. But human physiology, particularly after 60, doesn't work on a 24-hour spreadsheet. It works in pulses. Here's the revolutionary, non-negotiable truth that changes everything. The aging body suffers from anabolic resistance. Your muscles become deaf to the building signals of protein. You need a louder, more precise signal. Consuming your protein in 1 or 2 large doses, like a big piece of meat at dinner, is like shouting once into a deaf ear. The body can only utilize so much at once for synthesis. The rest is rooted for energy, or worse, stored. The key is frequency and timing. You need to whisper the building signal to your muscles consistently throughout the day, overwhelming that anabolic resistance with strategic repeated cues. This is why that hearty dinner, while good, is a salvage operation for the day, not a construction project. You've spent 12 to 15 hours in a catabolic state of breakdown. Your muscles have been fasting, and in the aging body, they break down far more readily. We must change the pattern from long periods of breakdown punctuated by one building phase. 2 consistent, rhythmic pulses of construction all day long. A bold, clear, on-screen graphic, the 2 p.m. power rule. Reset your metabolic clock. The animation shows a 24-hour clock, the major pulse of light at 2 p.m. The host's tone shifts from explaining the problem to revealing the solution. So, how do we break this cycle? How do we reboot this system? The answer lies in one of the most overlooked yet most critical metabolic crossroads of the day, the afternoon. Enter the 2 p.m. power rule. This is not a gimmick. This is a physiological imperative based on cortisol rhythms, muscle protein synthesis rates, and the typical senior's eating pattern. Here's what happens. You likely have a moderate breakfast, maybe a light lunch. By 2 p.m., your morning protein has been spent. Your cortisol, a stress hormone that can be catabolic, is on a natural daily dip. Your body is entering a precarious zone. It's been 4 to 6 hours since your last meaningful protein intake. For a young person, this is no big deal. For a senior, this is the precise moment when muscle breakdown begins to outpace muscle building. We are going to exploit this moment. We're going to make 2 p.m. not a time of slump, but a time of strategic anabolic intervention. A 2022 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that equal protein distribution across 4 meals stimulated 24-hour muscle protein synthesis rates in older adults by over 25% more than skewed dinner-heavy distribution. The 2 p.m. pulse is the linchpin of that distribution. It bridges the long gap between lunch and dinner, providing that essential whisper to your muscles, telling them loudly and clearly, the building shift is still on. Break down. The camera zooms in on a simple, elegant bowl of Greek yogurt or a small serving of cottage cheese. Superimposed graphics break down its molecular profile. High leucine content, fast and slow digesting proteins, rich in calcium. Now, not all protein is created equal for this 2 p.m. mission. We need a precision tool. We need what I call the muscle trigger food. The signal for muscle building is sent by a specific branch-chain amino acid called leucine. Think of leucine as the master key that unlocks the muscle protein synthesis machinery. For seniors, the leucine threshold to trigger this switch is higher. We need about 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine per meal to overcome anabolic resistance. This is where generic advice fails. A slice of turkey or a handful of nuts won't hit this threshold efficiently at 2 p.m. We need a concentrated, leucine-rich, and easily digestible source. The undisputed champion for this role is high-quality dairy protein specifically. Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or a whey protein isolate shake. A single serving of plain Greek yogurt contains that crucial 2.5 plus grams of leucine, along with a blend of fast whey and slow casein digesting proteins. It's providing an immediate and sustained release of amino acids into your bloodstream. It's a timed-release muscle-building tablet. It requires no preparation, is gentle on digestion, and is metabolically perfect for this moment. This isn't just a snack. It's a medical intervention for your musculoskeletal system. Clean, numbered graphics appear as the host outlines each step. Step 1 shows a plate divided into protein, veg, and smart carbs. Step 2 shows a clock hitting 2 p.m. with the yogurt graphic. Step 3 shows simple bodyweight exercises like chair squats and wall push-ups. The 2 p.m. power rule is your spearhead. But to win this war, you need a full battle plan. Here is your simple, non-negotiable 3-step protocol. Follow this for 30 days, and you will feel a difference. Follow it for 90 days, and you will see a transformation. Every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner must contain a minimum of 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein. This is non-negotiable. Scramble 3 eggs for breakfast, 18 grams. Add an ounce of cheese, 7 grams. For lunch, a palm-sized portion of fish, chicken, or tofu. The same. This ensures you are consistently hitting the leucine threshold, keeping the anabolic signal alive from morning to night. Set an alarm. At 2 p.m., consume your muscle trigger food. This is your secret weapon. Options: 3/4 cup of full-fat plain Greek yogurt, 20 grams protein. 1 cup of cottage cheese, 25 grams protein. Or a scoop of whey protein isolate mixed in water, 25 grams protein. Do not skip this. This is the bridge that turns your day from a breakdown cycle into a constant building cycle. You cannot build muscle through food alone. You must provide a reason for your body to build. You need a stimulus. Every single day, you will perform 10 minutes of targeted resistance work. Not in a gym, at home. This includes chair squats, sitting down and standing up with control, wall push-ups, seated leg extensions with ankle weights, and band pull-aparts. This isn't about getting bulky. It's about sending a biological telegram to your muscles. We are using these. Reinforce them. The combination of the protein timing and this provocation is synergistic and explosive. The host is now seated in an armchair, speaking conversationally, as if answering a friend's questions. I can hear the questions, let's tackle them head-on. But what about my kidneys? Comprehensive research, including major reviews in current opinion, in clinical nutrition, and metabolic care, concludes that in healthy individuals, high-protein diets do not harm kidney function. The fear is outdated. If you have diagnosed kidney disease, you work with your doctor, but for most, this is a non-issue. I don't like dairy. Alternatives: a lean chicken thigh, a serving of tempeh, or a specific leucine supplemented plant-based protein shake. But you must check the leucine content. Dairy is simply the most efficient tool. This seems like too much food. Protein. This is about redistribution, not necessarily eating more. Shift calories from processed snacks and simple carbs to high-quality protein. The satiety will be greater, the energy more stable. I'm 80 plus. Is it too late for me? It is never too late. Research on nonagenarians shows that even the frailest bodies respond to protein in resistance training. The response might be slower, but the direction towards strength and independence is exactly the same. Hopeful imagery, the same hands from the opening now, lifting a weight confidently. Walking briskly in a park, laughing while playing with a grandchild. The music swells, uplifting and powerful. It's about looking at the next decade, not with trepidation, but with intention. Every time you choose that 2 p.m. yogurt, you are not having a snack you, or casting a vote for a future where you travel. You are voting for a future where you are a burden to no one and a marvel to yourself. You are hacking your own biology. You are using cutting-edge gerontological science as your personal toolkit. The data is on your side. Physiology is on your side. All that's required now is your decision to act today. Final direct shot of the host. On-screen text with clear, actionable steps. Here is your first action. Right now. 1. Comment power rule below. This commits you to the community and holds you accountable. 2. Set a daily alarm on your phone or watch for 2 p.m. Label it Muscle Mission. 3. Tomorrow. Go to the store and buy 1 week's supply of your chosen muscle trigger food. Start with simple, full-fat, plain Greek yogurt. 4. Watch our next video, where I break down the exact 10-minute daily resistance routine, move by move. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. The silent crisis of sarcopenia thrives on ignorance and inaction. It ends with knowledge and decisive daily steps. You have the blueprint. The power to rebuild is literally in your hands and on your plate at 2 p.m. today. Let's begin. Subscribe my YouTube channel for the more information. Thanks for watching.